All right, guys. So today I want to talk to you about true friendship. Okay, true friendship. But before I do that, I wanna share with you a story in the Bible about King David. So King David, if many of you don't know who he was God's chosen to rule the nation of Israel. Okay, and King David could have anything he wanted, but he also had a general. His name was Uriah, and Uriah was his number one general. And when he was in at war, um, David was taking a walk on his palace, and from far away he could see a beautiful woman taking a shower. That beautiful woman was Uriah's wife. And whether David knew or not, he called his generals, the people in his palace, to go bring her to him. And and he slept with her. And she got pregnant. And when she got pregnant, um, David knew about it. And David called Uriah back to his palace and said, "Hey, you've been working a lot. I think you should take some time off and go be with your wife. Spend some time with your wife." And Uriah said, "No, my men are at war, and I'm not going to allow that." So King David commanded him to do that. So Uriah reluctantly went to his house, but he never stepped into his house. He slept outside. And so he never slept with his wife. And King David found out about it, and he didn't like it. And because he didn't like it, he called Uriah into his palace and said, "Why didn't you spend time with your wife?" And Uriah said, "Well, my men are at war. I cannot be with my wife, having that in mind that my men are at war." And so King David wrote a letter to whoever was in command while Uriah was gone, and sealed that letter, gave it to Uriah, and said, "Give this to the guy over there." In that letter, it said, "Put Uriah in the front lines for so Uriah could get killed." That's some shady stuff from King David. Shady stuff. Um, but then Nathan, one of King David's friend, called him out on it. And and we're going to read from the Bible what happened. Okay, so it's from Second Samuel chapter 12, and all the way to 14, I think. So let's read. Let me see this right here. Yeah, hold on. All right, right there. Then the Lord sent Nathan to David, and he came to him and said to him, he so Nathan is telling King David a story. There were two men in one city, one rich and the other poor. The rich man had exceedingly many flocks, but the poor man had nothing except one little ewe lamb, which he had bought when he had bought and nourished, and it grew up together with him and his children. It ate out of his own food and drank from his own cup, and lay in his bosom, and it was like a daughter to him. And a traveler came to the rich man and refused to take from his own flock and from his own herd to prepare the one for the wavering man who had come to him. But he took the poor man's lamb and prepared it for the man who had come to him. So David, in anger, greatly aroused against the man, and he said to Nathan, "As the Lord lives, the man who has done this shall surely die, and he shall restore fourfold for the lamb, because he did this thing, because he had no pity." Then Nathan said to David, "You are that man, thus says the Lord, God of Israel. I anointed you king over Israel. I delivered you from the hand of Saul. I gave you your master's house and your master's wife into your keeping, and gave you the house of Israel and Judah. And that had been too little. I also would have given you much more. Why have you despised the commandment of the Lord to do this evil in his sight? You have killed Uriah the Hittite, however it's pronounced. With the sword you have taken his wife to be your wife, and have killed him with the sword of the people of Ammon. Now therefore the sword shall be never depart from your house, because you have despised me, and have taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be your wife. Thus says the Lord, behold, I will rise up adversity against you from your own house, and I will take your wives before your eyes, and give them to your neighbor, and he shall lie with your wives in the sight of the sun. For you did this secretly, but I will do this before all Israel, before the sun." So David said to Nathan, "I have sinned against the Lord." And Nathan said to David, "The Lord also has put away your sin. You shall not die. However, because by this deed you have given great occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme the child, also who is born to you shall surely die." Then Nathan departed to his house. So it doesn't matter if you're in authority. It doesn't matter if you're the king. It doesn't matter what you do in life. If we don't have friends like Nathan that could call us out, then what do we have? We have nothing. We just have fake friends. Can you imagine going up to your boss and telling them that what he's asking you to do, or you know that he's doing something wrong, you're not calling him or her out? What kind of friend are you? Nathan didn't care, but Nathan put it into perspective where David could understand. He gave him a story about this rich person that had a visitor. And this rich person had flocks, lambs, you name it. This guy had everything. And instead of taking from his flock, he took that one lamb from his poor neighbor. But he was referring to Uriah's wife. And David said, that guy needs to die. And Nathan said, that man is you. You are that man. You are that man that did this. And guess what? That child, his first child that he got this girl pregnant, I think her name was Bathsheba. Let me see. Bathsheba. We need to have friends like Nathan. We need to have friends that are going to call us out on our stuff. And we need to become like Nathan. We need to have enough courage to call out our friends regardless of what's going on. But David, now imagine this. David is a man of God. David was searching for God. David was chosen by God, handpicked out of everybody. King David defeated Goliath. David defeated and and this is a good example that we could be extremely close to God and we're still gonna fail. But after Nathan called him out, he came to his senses and he says, "Wait a minute, you're right." And he was very remorseful. That first child died, and then they had another child, King Solomon. So I hope you guys learned something from this. I hope you guys really um, have Nathan as friends, and I hope that you are a Nathan. Don't be afraid to call it out, regardless. So God bless you guys. May the Lord be with you guys. God bless you. Love you guys, and be careful. God bless you. Bye.